Hey guys, I'm Greg Builds, and today I'll show you 40 plus cabin design ideas that you can make for your Minecraft world. And each cabin displayed is a cabin that I've already previously made. And each design has a full-length build tutorial on it, which you can find in my Ranch and Cabin playlist. Now without further ado, let's showcase the first design. Now this first design is a large design, and you're going to need a lot of wood to build this one. So if you're early game, I would not recommend this one. However, this has plenty of space and an optional basement as well. Now this second design is great for a swampy area, as it's elevated off the ground. Or you can also build it in an area where there's lots of hills, and you don't have to flatten the ground that way. Now you can always make a staircase up to this, or you can have a ladder down below like I did. Now this third design is a modern cabin, and I really like this wooden cabin, as it has a very simple look. But my favorite part of this one is definitely the interior loft, and make sure to check that one out. Now design number 4 is great if you don't have any glass available, as all the windows use fence post. Design 5 is one of my favorites, as this one's a very cute country house, and it's really easy to build, using easy to gather materials. And you can even add an optional skylight on top like I did. And you can always design your interiors the way you prefer. But I built a large workshop on top, and I also used part of it as a storage room, as there's plenty of room up here. Now the next design is all about the archway, but this house can also be split into two-person house, as it's very symmetrical, as one of your friends can have one side and you can have the other. Or you can build your interior out like mine and not have any dividing walls, and have a large upstairs just like this. Now the next design is very simple, and we start using some dark oak wood. And I really like how dark oak wood looks, however not everyone has a dark oak biome nearby, so you can always replace this with another material. Now this next design is more of a suburban look, with a built-in garage. And the garage and the balconies are probably my favorite part of this entire build, but you can find this one in the Ranch and Cabin playlist as well. And I have many other playlists as well, such as the suburban, modern, castles, and survival houses. Now this next house uses trapdoors as an alternative to windows, which is great if you don't have sand available to make glass panes. Now this next one is a survival based cabin, and I kind of added some castle-like theme into it with the buttons. But my favorite part of this one definitely has to be the upper rooftop decks. Now this next one is a classic modern house, and this would look good in a standard Minecraft village. And you can always replace the roof with oak, if you want a more traditional look, but I really like the birch stair look for this house. And I turned this house into a blacksmith, but you can always turn this into a regular house as well. Now this next one uses stripped birch logs, and the next few designs I show you will have a lot of birch. As the time I built these, I was really using a lot of birch material. Now this next cabin has got to be one of my favorites, and this is a more intricate build, which might not be the easiest to build in survival, however it definitely comes out looking really good. Now this next one is a little tiny house, and it could be used for a shop as well, as I turned mine into a meat store, but this is a perfect little village sized house. Now the next cabin uses stone, which is a great material to use, as it's very easy to find. Now this next one looks like a school, with the large dormer up top, and you can always add a bell on top if you'd like. Now my favorite part of this build is definitely the loft up top, and you can access it by this ladder over here. Now this next house is very symmetrical, as it has a main tower and 4 little towers off the sides. Which this might not be the most practical, however no matter which way you look at it, it has the same look, which is great for the center of a village. Now this next one is more of a farmhouse style, as it has a stone silo attached to the house, and it gives it more of a traditional farmhouse look, but this could be easily converted into a barn. Now this next house is built on a wooden platform, and I built a fence all the way around for security protection, if you have a lot of zombies in your area. Now this next ranch house is built completely out of sandstone, which is perfect for a desert biome, or a beach biome, and I don't usually build a lot with sandstone, but I really like the look of this one and how it turned out. Now this next cabin has 2 floors, with the first floor starting on the second level, and the second living space is a small loft up top, which is a cute bedroom. But the main feature of it is the horse stalls down below. Now this next cabin is all about farming, as the entire basement is an entire carrot farm, and it also has an upper deck farm as well. Now this next cabin is my most popular design, and you'll probably recognize this cabin on my channel as it's the most viewed video. But I've always liked the dormers on this one and how the roof line turned out, as well as the spacious basement down below. Now this next ranch is like a ski lodge, as it has a very low profile look to it, which is great for a mountaintop area. Next up is another large cabin, and this is great for a lot of villagers, or for a multiplayer server, as there's a ton of space in this house. And if you want a challenge, I would recommend building this one, as it'll take a few days to build. The next one is a variation of a log and stone house, and I like the traditional logs coming out, as it looks like a traditional log house, as well as the front porch. Now this next cabin is a very simple one and easy to make, and if you want to put a structure up pretty quick, I would recommend this one. Now my favorite part of this house is the interior staircase that leads down to the basement, but you can check that out in person to see what I'm talking about. Now this next cabin is a small one, but my favorite part is the pergola on the side. And I use campfire blocks to make the overhanging porch on the side, which I would make sure you have fire spread off before putting this up. Now the next one is a traditional farmhouse that I built a while ago, and it has a farm down below the house. Now the next cabin is more like a tent, or a wooden tent, I guess you could say. But if you're in survival, it's kind of nice being able to climb all the way up to the roof line from the ground. Also, this reminds me of a northern house where there's lots of snow. Now the next one is a log cabin, but it has more of a castle theme to it with the stone blocks on top. Now you can always make your roof with planks or a glass top like me, but I wanted the natural sunlight, so that's why I went with the glass top up here. Next up is one of my original cabins, and I always like this design as it has a large front window. And it almost looks funky, but I think that's what makes this one of my favorite cabins. Next up is one of my early designs, when I was just starting in Minecraft. But I especially like the 3 dormers in the front, and the large cupola up on the ridgeline. And if you'd like a throwback, definitely check this one out, and you can definitely see the quality of my tutorials improve. Now this is one of the original cabins I designed. Now this next one is a survival based cabin, and you can find this one in the survival playlist. Next up is a larger cabin with 4 wraparound decks. Now this is one of the few cabins I built with acacia wood, as I know a lot of people don't really like the color of it, but I was going for more of a northern A-frame style house. Now this is a popular house on my channel, and one of my favorite parts of the build is using the oak fence posts on the outside, and the oak fence posts make it look like there's lattice work on the outside of the house. And again, if you'd like to build any of these houses you see showcased in this video, make sure to check out my ranch and cabin playlist, as I have a detailed, in-depth tutorial for each house. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any questions about the build or would like to leave some feedback, I would love to hear it. Also, make sure to subscribe, because I create build tutorials just like this one every week. I'll catch you in the next one. Later guys! Want more build tutorials? I have many other playlists on my channel that might interest you. Make sure to check them out.